Harry has undergone a significant rebrand, launching a new website which prominently features his and his wife's royal titles. That's despite the fact that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are no longer working royals. Their new website, Sussexes.com, will share personal updates for the couple that are not related to the Archewell Foundation, but has caused a backlash from people who say they shouldn't be able to capitalise on those titles after the things they've said about the royal family. Well, joining us in the studio is the Sun's royal editor, Matt Wilkinson. Good afternoon, Matt.
Hello.
What do you make of all this, then?
Well, the Harry and Meghan?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it just never ends, really, does it? There's always something new. Just when they go quiet, just when there's a quiet period, you know, they come back. The interesting thing about this is that they've been talking about a rebrand for such a long time. They've been saying, because Meghan hasn't really done anything for quite a long time now, since her podcast. So they were talking about, you know, some new projects, and this is what we got. It turns out to be a website using the Sussex brand, which they were kind of told not to use Sussex Royal when they left.
So it's now an archive website.
Yeah, so their old website was called Sussex Royal.
Correct.
The new website is called just Sussex.
Yeah.
So in some ways you could argue that they're doing what they're told. They're getting rid of the word royal. But is that a bit pedantic?
It links back to their Sussex Royal website. Now, it was the Queen's wishes that the Duke and Duchess wouldn't use their term royal when they went off in their financial endeavours into the United States. And everyone I spoke to at the palace has always said that, you know, the Sussexes have adhered to that over the years, you know, but 4 years later, they're now using the Sussex website. It links to the old Sussex Royal website, and also the coat of arms, I think, has raised a few eyebrows because look, we know in the last couple of years they have attacked the royal family on the Netflix show, on Oprah, but they have now used their coat of arms that was drawn up, their marital coat of arms.
So we're looking at it there. Actually, the picture we were just looking at, the dark blue one, that's the front page. So before this, that's the front page of their website. And the controversy that you're referring to, Matt, is the fact that they've got the coat of arms, we'll have a look at it in a minute, I'm sure, at centre stage of that website. And that's the coat of arms that was given to them for being royal. There it is, in the middle there, yeah.
Correct. And Meghan had a role in drawing up this coat of arms. It has the blue of the Pacific Ocean. It has the yellow sun rays for representing California. But
it's hers to use, right?
It's hers to use, but they turned their back on the royal family 4 years ago, and now 4 years later, critics might say that they're, you know, using this royal symbolism, this royal crest, to push forward their new brand, which might upset some people.
There's not much to their new brand at the moment. I've had a little click around the website, and we've got CVs, basically. And this amused me because the top line of Harry's CV is that he's a humanitarian, military veteran, mental health advocate and environmental campaigner. What's a humanitarian?
It's a do-gooder.
Is that essentially what a humanitarian is? So could we all be humanitarians?
Well, I think
is that a qualification?
I think he's. I think there was a phrase that they've used about, you know, helping people out. They've got a new phrase on there about doing good and showing up. I think it's called show up and do good. And we're still waiting for these, you know, these new projects. So maybe the humanitarian aspect of showing up, doing good, charitable work, the kind of things he would do when he was a working royal. Maybe that's what we'll see in the next year or so.
Can you guess, either of you, what Meghan, the very first thing that Meghan describes herself on her CV on this new Sussexes.com website?
Philanthropist.
Matt?
She mentions about she's one of the Times most 25 influential...
That's in the second paragraph.
No.
She's a feminist, first and foremost, and a champion of human rights and gender equity.
So one of the things that they did post recently was video of a big meeting that they had, which they posted, although it had happened a while before, when the tech giants were giving evidence on in Washington at Capitol Hill. But they had convened a meeting of parents whose children had either fallen victim to some sort of crime or even taken their own lives as a result of online bullying or things on social media. So perhaps that gave us an indication of the direction that they want to go in. But on the websites particularly, they've now got three, and I wonder if it's interesting, there are three silos. So one doing that sort of work, the charitable work, which is Archewell. Obviously, that's what the Archewell used to be their main site. And then there's Archewell Audio, so we assume that's all the sort of Netflix, Spotify, maybe Paramount deal coming soon. And then Sussex, which seems to be the controversial one, which I guess is sort of more like their own Instagram page, and that's the one where they're going to talk about what they're up to personally.
That's right. They've said that sources close to Sussex have said that this is where they're going to put personal updates that they couldn't share on the Archewell website. But it does feel that they are phasing out the Archewell side of things. Netflix isn't mentioned in any of the CVs, by the way. They mentioned Spare, Bench, etc., and any other publications that they've worked on, but they don't mention Netflix, and Spotify's gone. Remember, they haven't got Spotify.
So is this going to be a blog? If this is for, is it, we're going to see the Sussexes blogging on this new site?
And I wonder if, Matt, this is where the new TIG Mark II might be coming into the new Sussex brackets, not royal anymore, close brackets. Because TIG was the blog that Meghan had, in which she would talk about her favourite wines and her favourite foods and all that sort of stuff. And then it was taken down when she started going out with Harry, and certainly when she was engaged. People have been saying she's going to revamp it, and it's sort of a... what is it, Goop, the one that she's slightly modelling herself on?
It's a really good point. She wasn't allowed to use TIG. The palace said, you're not allowed to use TIG anymore. She still has TIG, but she's not going to relaunch it. So it's a really good point that they can now use this Sussex brand to, as you say, like a blog or like an Instagram feed to show all the good work that they're doing. And the Gwyneth Paltrow line is interesting as well, because they've met Gwyneth a few times in California. They're kind of semi-friends, Meghan and Gwyneth. And our sources I've spoken to have said that they are using her as an inspiration, the way that she just doesn't worry about criticism. She just goes out there and does it, and she's a businesswoman. So I could see this happening. It's a really good point.
And presumably they would be allowed to use that new website, Sussex, to flog candles and whatever else.
Well, I mean, I think this is the thing. This is what I don't quite understand about this new website. What is it for? Is it give us money so we can be amazing, or just look at us, we're amazing, or look at all the amazing things we do, so maybe give us money as a result? Or does money not come into this?
I think Archewell is the not-for-profit, and Matt will correct me if I'm wrong on this. That's the sort of charitable side in the new setup. Archewell Audio is please give us a job making films or podcasts, and the third one, Sussex, is we can pretty much do whatever we want on this website. It's, if we want to tell you that we happen to be drinking a bottle of wine and follow this link and you can buy it, I'm imagining you actually could do that on that third website.
Correct, and it's similar. If you think, when you're a working royal, you can promote. The Waleses are very good at it at the moment. They promote all of their work on social media. They've got some very good videos that they put out themselves. So my theory is that they are going to use this Sussex website to just promote themselves and to promote, as you say, their humanitarian work or the actions that they are doing. They can just use this to feed out videos and pictures and to promote themselves and promote their work.
And I heard a theory, Matt, this week that the fact that they went to that film premiere, which was a Paramount film premiere, and then the fact that Harry went to obviously give that award in Vegas this week, and there was some connection with Paramount Film Studios with that as well, that perhaps this is, instead of Spotify or Netflix, that Paramount are the arms that he's rushing to embrace.
Yeah, look, the Netflix deal will come to an end at some stage. The money will run out, and they'll have to find, fresh avenues for money and also for work. But they flew out with Paramount to Jamaica, and I was told that they had discussions with Paramount, and there could be things in the pipeline because they need to find new ways to make money. They have huge outgoings on security and their mortgage, so this could happen with Paramount.
Are you able to, yet on this website, set up an email alert so that you get an email alert every time the website's updated with a new blog post or anything? Is the facility to do that exist
no idea,
on there?
but I'm sure it will be.
Because I imagine that every single web page that changes will be poured over by royal watchers like yourselves, I'm sure, for any sort of new information.
You can already get alerts on Twitter, or X as it is now, every time they post something. So presumably every time something changes. But of course, one thing they haven't done on this website or anywhere else, Matt, is send their good wishes publicly to the King, although obviously Harry did come over for that blink and you miss it visit to the King.